This is Tony T here from Tony'sPicks.com with our college football pick show here for week 13. This is part 2. We've got 12 games from Saturday. We do these in parts. We'll get them done by Friday. For more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you're looking for my best bets, my premium plays, click that link in the description. That'll take you to my page here at Tony'sPicks.com. And if you like our work, give us a like, a thumbs up. It really helps our channel. So let's get this one started. We begin with UMASS and Georgia here, college football. On Saturday, UMass fell to 2-8 after their 35-34 home defeat to Liberty. The Minutemen gained 426 yards, 263 rushing for 5.6 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 423 yards to the Flames with 309 rushing yards for 6.4 yards a carry. Ahmad Hassan, he rushed for 62, rushed for 62 yards and a touchdown with no pass attempts here. They've been rotating two quarterbacks with the injury to their starter here, so they kind of use a wildcat. Georgia improved to 8-2, a 31-17 home victory to Tennessee. Bulldogs put up 453 yards, 106 rushing for 3.4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 319 yards in the game with 167 passing on 33 attempts. Minutemen are going with the passing backup and a wildcat formation backup. Just can't imagine Minutemen scoring more than a field goal here against the Bulldogs. We'll expect the Bulldogs to keep it on the ground, shorten the game, a huge lead in the second half. Bulldogs 6-3 to the under as a home favorite of 31 or greater points. Play UMass and Georgia under 55.5. All right, next up we've got Western Kentucky and Liberty for Saturday. Western Kentucky 7-3 after their 12-7 home defeat to Louisiana Tech. The Hilltoppers put up 215 yards, 63 rushing for 2.9 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 275 yards to the Bulldogs with 209 rushing for 4.3 yards a carry. Caden Veltkamp, 18-26 passing for 152 yards. Liberty 7-2, a 35-34 road win at UMass. The Flames gained 423 yards, 309 rushing for 6.3 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 426 yards to the Minutemen with 263 rushing for 5.6 yards a carry. Caden Salter, 9-16 passing for 114 yards and a pick. He rushed for 58 yards and 2 touchdowns. WKU on the road has struggled with their run game and defense. They rushed for just 3.2 yards a carry and surrendered 5 yards per rush, 9.3 yards per pass step. Liberty against the conference has defended well, allowing 22 points per game. They have been balanced against Conference USA with 5.6 yards per rush, 7.7 yards per pass step. The Flames 3-1 in the spread at home against winning teams. Pick here will be Liberty here at -1. All right, next up we got UTEP and Tennessee. Here, UTEP now 2-8 after their 43-35 home victory to Kennesaw ST. The Miners gained 453 yards, 120 rushing for 2.7 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 300 yards to the Owls, 117 rushing for 2.8 yards a carry. Skylar Locklear here, 20-33 passing for 327 yards with 4 touchdowns. Tennessee now 8-2, a 31-17 road defeat to Georgia. The Volunteers put up 319 yards, 152 rushing for 3.9 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 453 yards to the Bulldogs with 347 passing on 40 attempts. Nico Ayameleva, 20 of 33 passing for 167 yards. Tennessee pounded teams in the non-conference, outscoring 3 opponents by 191-13. The strength of their offensive defensive lines will be too much here. They have averaged 64 points per game in their 3 non-conference games. Pick here, Tennessee -42. All right, next up we got Bowling Green and Ball State for Saturday. Bowling Green now 6-4 after their 31-13 home victory to Western Michigan. The Falcons gained 402 yards, 226 rushing for 6.8 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 292 yards to the Broncos with 97 rushing for 2.7 yards per rush. Connor Bazelak, 15-22 passing for 176 yards with 2 touchdowns. He rushed for a touchdown in the game. Ball State drops to 7-3. A 51-48 road defeat at Buffalo. The Cardinals posted 520 yards, 193 rushing for 5.2 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 470 yards to the Bulls, 206 rushing for 5 yards a carry. Kaden Simonza, 25-37 passing for 327 yards with 4 touchdowns and a pick. He rushed for 53 yards in the game. Bowling Green has defended well in the MAC games, allowing 16 points per game. Their offense works on the road, 4.6 yards per rush, 7.1 yards per pass attempt. Ball State has struggled defensively in conference, allowing 36 points per game, 5.4 yards per rush, 7.9 yards per pass attempt. They're putting up 34 points a game in conference with 273 yards passing per game, 7.7 yards per pass attempt. Bowling Green 7-3 to the over on the road. Following a home game pick, Bowling Green and Ball State over 57. Next up, we got Rice and UAB here for Saturday. Rice 3-7 after their 27-20 road defeat to Memphis. The Owls gained 367 yards, 121 rushing for 5.3 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 366 yards to the Tigers with 207 rushing for 5 yards a carry. E.J. Warner 29 of 45 passing for 246 yards with 2 touchdowns. UAB now 2-8, a 53-18 road defeat at Memphis. The Blazers put up 352 yards with 28 rushing yards on 20 carries. On defense, they allowed 526 yards to the Tigers with 299 yards passing yards on 34 attempts. Jacob Zeno, again, questionable with that shoulder injury. He's missed the past 6 games. Jalen Kinna in 27 of 43 for 253 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks. Rice has struggled in their road games, put up 12 points a game. Their quarterback play has just been poor on the road. Of course, they let go of their coach as well. UAB at home rushed for 4.9 yards a carry, averaging 7.3 yards per pass attempt. They've defended the pass well at home. The Owls at -8 turnover margin. The Owls are 0-2 the spread as a road favorite. UAB 2-0 the spread facing teams with its 250 to 400 win rate. So these down teams have been able to cover here. Pick here UAB plus the 6.5. All right, next up we got James Madison here and App State. James Madison 8-2 after a 35-32 road win at Old Dominion. The Dukes gained 425 yards on them with a 233 rushing for 4.9 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 363 yards to the Monarchs, 174 rushing for 4.7 yards a carry. Alonzo Barnett here, 18 of 26 passing, 192 yards and a touchdown. He rushed for 70 yards and 2 scores. App State 4-5, a 38-24 road defeat to Coastal Carolina. Mountaineers posted 376 yards in the game, 150 rushing for 3.8 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 353 yards to the Chanticleers with 203 rushing for 5 yards a carry. Joey Aguilar 17 of 31 passing for 226 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks. James Madison has defended well in conference in the run and pass. Give up 18 points a game. Their passing game on offense has not been efficient in the Sun Belt. App State issues with accurate quarterback play in the conference, only 55% completions. Then you're facing Sun Belt defenses. App State 3-0 at home to the under against teams that average 4.75 yards per carry or greater. JMU has gone under in 5 of 6 behind great defensive play. Pick here, James Madison, App State under 60.5. New Mexico State and Middle Tennessee State here for Saturday. All right, New Mexico State 2-8, a 38-3 road defeat at Texas A&M. Mexico State gained 214 yards, 122 rushing for 3.2 yards a carry. Offensively, they allowed 565 yards to the Aggies with 356 yards passing on 43 attempts. Santino Marucci, 6 of 19 passing for 80 yards. Middle Tennessee State drops to 3-7. A 37-17 home defeat to Liberty. The Blue Raiders gained 351 yards, 88 rushing for 3.4 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 500 yards to the Flames with 339 rushing for 6.8 yards per rush. Nicholas Fatiato, 22 of 33 passes for 260 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Blue Raiders' defense has been very poor against Conference USA, allowing 5.5 yards per rush, 8.5 yards per pass step. They've struggled with the running attack in conference. Aggies' run game in good form over the past 3 games, nearly 5 yards at carry. New Mexico State 4-1 to the spread on the road, facing teams that allow 4.7 yards per rush or greater. Blue Raiders 6-10 to the spread at home. Pick here, New Mexico State plus 3.5. I got Charlotte and FAU here for Saturday's action. Charlotte 3-7 after their 59-29 home defeat to USF. The 49ers gained 347 yards, 91 rushing for 2.6 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 551 yards to the Bulls with 8.9 yards per rush. Deshaun Purdy here, 17-39 passing for 256 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks. FAU now 2-8, 18-15 road defeat at Temple. The FAU Owls posted 317 yards, 123 rushing for 4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 348 yards to Temple, 130 rushing for 3.3 yards a carry. Tariq Starks here, 8 of 13 passing for 71 yards. Charlotte offense has been poor on the road with 3.7 yards per rush and completing just over half their passes. They have struggled with both running and passing defense on the road. FAU in their home games rushed for 4.9 yards a carry, 7.9 yards per pass attempt. The Owls' pass defense has been very good at home, holding opponents a 53% completion rate. Pick here FAU +3. All right, next up we got FIU and Kennesaw State. FIU 3-7 with their 34-31 road defeat to Jacksonville State. The Panthers gained 431 yards, 173 rushing for 5.1 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 345 yards to the Gamecocks with 234 rushing for 5 yards a carry. Kenyon Jenkins, 21-34 passing for 258 yards with 2 touchdowns. Kennesaw State drops to 1-9. A 23-17 home defeat to Sam Houston State. The Owls produced 243 yards, 106 rushing for 3 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 381 yards to the Bearcats with 203 rushing for 4.7 yards a carry. Davis Bryson, 16-24 passing for 137 yards with a touchdown and a pick. FIU has been able to average 7.8 yards per pass attempt in their Conference USA games. It has been a struggle for the Panthers to defend on the road where they allow 33 points per game. The Owls have defended poor against conference foes, allowing 33 points per game. They're putting up 22 points per game in their past 3. Pick here FIU and Kennesaw over 44. All right, we got Arizona and TCU here for Saturday. Arizona now 4-6 after their 27-3 home victory to Houston. The Wildcats put up 337 yards, 113 rushing for 3.1 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 326 yards to the Cougars with 135 rushing for 4 yards a carry. Noah Fafita, 20-35 passing for 224 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick. TCU now 6-4, a 38-13 home victory to Oklahoma State. The Horned Frogs put up 468 yards, 175 rushing for 6.3 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 368 yards to the Cowboys, 135 rushing for 3.8 yards per rush. Josh Hoover, 26-35 passing for 286 yards with a touchdown. The Horned Frogs in their past 3 games allowing 28 points per game. Their offensive numbers have been good in this period. The Wildcats have been able to move the football through the air in the Big 12 with 246 yards per game. Arizona 3-0 to the spread as a road underdog of 7.5 to 14 points. The Horned Frogs have failed to cover a 7 of 10 and are just 1-4 to the spread at home. Pick here Arizona plus the 12. All right, we got South Alabama and Southern Miss here. South Alabama 5-5, a 24-22 road win at Louisiana. The Jaguars produced 353 yards, 68 rushing for 2.3 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 393 yards to the Raging Cajuns, with 276 yards passing on 30 attempts. Gio Lopez, huge game here, 24-34 passing for 285 yards and an interception. He rushed for 2 touchdowns. Southern Miss 1-9. It's all coming apart here. A 58-3 road defeat to Texas State. The Golden Eagles gained 194 yards, 124 rush for 2.5 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 703 yards to the Bobcats with 437 passing yards on 34 attempts. Ethan Crawford, 3 of 5 passing for 7 yards. Bowl eligibility with a win for the Jaguars here. Southern Miss, horrible form over their past 3 games, giving up 42 points a game, allowing 6 yards per run, 10 yards per pass step. Their offensive numbers are also bad in this period. 2.8 yards a carry, just 35% completion rate. My goodness. South Alabama, member, put up 87 points on an FCS team this year. Pick here, South Alabama, minus 22. All right, next up we got UL Monroe and Arkansas State here. UL Monroe 5-5, a 48-14 road defeat to Auburn. The Warhawks gained 218 yards, 64 rushing for 1.8 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 507 yards to the Tigers with 304 passing yards on 37 attempts. Aiden Armenta 8 of 15 passing for 89 yards. Arkansas State now 6-4, a 27-20 road win at Georgia State. The Red Wolves put up 358 yards, 261 rushing for 5.3 yards per rush. On defense, they allowed 411 yards to the Panthers with 346 passing yards on 49 attempts. Jalen Raynor, 10 of 17 passing for 97 yards. He rushed for 114 yards in the game. The Warhawks are a win away from bowl eligibility. They have run the ball effectively against a conference, averaging 7.3 yards per pass attempt as well. UL Monroe has been strong defending the pass against the conference, allowing just 49% completions. The Red Wolves' form over the past 3 games pretty poor right now, going up 35 points a game, 5.5 yards a carry, and 317 yards passing per game for 8.3 yards per pass attempt. The Warhawks 5-1 of the spread on the road against winning teams. Pick here will be on UL Monroe at +3. For more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you're looking for my best bets, my premium plays, click that link in the description. That'll take you to my page here at Tony'sPicks.com. And if you like this video, give us a like, a thumbs up. You really help our channel. I'm Tony T. We'll talk with you guys later.